So here we go. This is what you're here for today. So just a bit of background. Obviously we've had lockdown since about 20th of March. That's when we were last day of college, actually, for us for physical delivery, and it's been very difficult to get 1 week's notice to start shifting our provision online. So thank you so much for being patient with us as a college and also coming to these things and still coming back to us. We've managed to put 60% of our classes online now, and we just felt that I think the community of the college, it adds a lot to a value to people's lives. Some people say things like, the course is what keeps them going sometimes. That sometimes they can be that meaningful in terms of what they're doing or the extent to it's life-changing for them. So we want to keep this experience going and give you the ability to do things like this in another way, which is now remote learning for now. So in terms of what I'm going to cover, I'm going to talk about the student email address and what that is and your identity, how to access this and how it gives you access to remote learning. You also, when you become a student, get some free software, and you've got some entitlements to get free Office software while you're with us. And that's the useful applications like word processing and Excel and PowerPoint. They're just nice things to have that you can use for writing letters or doing spreadsheets, etc. You'll learn about Teams, and you've also been trying out Teams yourself. But I should explain a bit about participation and things like sharing and demonstrating certain features to you. And also talk about Moodle as a platform of resources for students and how you access that. Moodle is our resource portal, how we give you materials like handouts. So it's worth me also showing you how that works too. Okay, let's now begin with your student email address. I'm going to bring up a browser here and just show you my screen. So you're just seeing me as I access the browser. I'm going to go to the college website. So here we are. So all of you should be familiar with this. That's obviously how you all should be. So I'm going to start with this because it's the one way you can always find what you're looking for. And down below here, there's a few useful links for you. And the first one is I'm going to show you is this one here. Yeah, free classes to get set up online. Now, if you click on this, I'll do it for you. So you know how to find this yourselves now, because you just remember, go on the home page and go to this link. So this shows you a bit about your entitlements, and what you have is when you enroll as a college at the college, we issue you with this infamous student number. Your student number is also called your learner ID. There's two names for it. And when you enroll on a course, you automatically get an email address as well and an email account. And that number plus this bit at the end here creates for you your sign-in username. Okay, so you've got learner ID followed by @ and notice students.rhacc.ac.uk there. Okay, and that's it. Don't remember, it's plural students there, not singular. That will give you your sign-in username. Now your password is in a certain format. It's numeric. So we take the date of birth that you have, and then we translate it into a number which is 8 digits. It shouldn't be more or less than that. So whatever your birthday is, you translate it into this format the first time round. Okay, that's your starting password. So if you don't know what these ID details are, normally people are doing things like they're calling up reception, they're emailing in, or maybe they were given some kind of a learning agreement. Now, if you were ever given a learning agreement by the college, your number is actually on there. So you look at your learning agreement, it's got your address, your name, and you'll have an ID number also. That is also your learner ID. Okay, so if you ever were given paperwork or some kind of a receipt of some sort. So this college email is crucial because with college email, that's how a lot of our communications are going to work with you if you want the optimal experience for Teams. So what happens is you would sign in to normally, depending on how your tutor is configuring your class, either you're going to get an email like you got from me today, which says click on the link, okay, and then it goes to Teams and gives you some options, launch on web or sign in. Now, if you were to download the application, the Teams application, and that's available, you'll see a link further below for that. When you download Teams, it asks you for a sign-in and password there. Okay, so it's preferable that you do use this information there also. Okay, the same information for your college email is the same information for your college email, college Teams account, same password username system. Okay, and if you ever want to look at your college email to test it, to know you've got it working, the first time you click on the link here.
We do that now.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do it now. You can do it now. to try it out. Yeah, and some of you might have the experience of being able to get there and find it. You should be, because you got into Teams. Those of you who are guests and don't know your IDs won't be able to do that yet. Okay, so I don't want to frustrate you. So that's how you log into your email. Once you've got into your email account, it looks like Outlook, right? Just give you a picture of how it might look.
Okay.
So you see here, this example of how this interface looks for you. When you logged into Outlook email, you'll see an inbox like this, and you'll see some dots in the top left-hand corner there. Okay, there. And your inbox, your messages will come into this window in this way, and you'll see an invitation in that inbox. Okay, and the invitation is something like an appointment, which is a set time and date for your class. So your teacher will send you an email to this inbox.
Yeah.
And it will say something like schedule and time, and it will be a link saying join Microsoft Teams meeting below. Okay, and there'll be a link for you to click on, and that will open it up for you. Okay, so it's via your email you get sent your appointments to your class. Okay, that's one way into it. So normally that's the procedure, and when you get like a class which is maybe a number of weeks that repeats, so every week you've got another class happening, then the teacher will set up so it's like will continue to be available. So the first time is the hardest, and after that becomes quite straightforward and you know what you're doing. Yeah. So also the other way into it is this way. If you have the Teams application, which I'll show you mine now. So my Teams application here, let me introduce you to the left-hand side. You've got the floating toolbar you can see here, which is your interaction within the class. But over here, you've got your icons for managing your teams and your classes. When you're enrolled on a course, you should be put into a team. That's the right way for it to be done. You go into Teams, and you can see for me here, this is all my teams, the ones I'm in.
Yeah.
I haven't got a team for the session today because you are just an ad hoc meeting I've created. Yeah. But normally with a course, say somebody shout out a course you're enrolled in. Anything?
Maths and science.
Maths and science. Okay, so that one will be definitely done on Teams. So I would find it in here, my maths and science link, by clicking on the icon on the left-hand side here called Teams. That's the crucial icon. Using Teams to get into this area, find maths and science, click and go inside it. Let me show you a sample course of mine. Let's go to Indian cookery here. So when I've gone into a class and I click inside the team, I will see something that looks like this. Any lessons will be in this general chat area here. All the lessons will be here. Yeah. And you'll see like this example of a calendar appointment there is showing me something's happening. There's a date and time there. Okay. So that, because it's gone into this is my chat screen, like this is where the chat's happening, like the chat I showed you earlier on. So something's going to be coming up or upcoming, you'll see it in here, and you'll see there's people talking in there, like there'll be students chatting and nattering away in the chat. That's encouraged. Then you know something is going on. There's some kind of a space where people are communicating here. Okay. So as it's a sample, it's only me enrolled by myself, I'm afraid, on this course. I can't really interact, but that's what would happen. Similarly, you also have a calendar. And in a way, this works better because with a calendar method, I will see things in time-based format, and I will see all the different classes that are going on. And if you've been given, say, an invite to maths and science next week, you'll see it in your diary. Right now, here's my class right now, and I click on join, and I join to go inside that lesson. That's all I need to do. So that's the best way of doing it. Download the team software, and I'll show you where it's available in a minute. Download the team software, sign in with your RHACC account. As soon as you get Teams working, go straight to your calendar and look around the calendar and see what's coming up. Yeah, look in calendar and look in Teams. I'd encourage you to be familiar with both the calendar and the Teams. Okay, so back to the left-hand side of the channel here, Teams and calendar. I also have here a chat button too, and that chat button allows me to use conversation generally with anyone outside of this class as well. Okay, so it's any kind of chats that are going on. You might want to keep an eye out for any alerts in that chat that are red there. You know, that might show you something is happening that you need to look at, or you've been given a notification of some sort. Okay, just make you aware of activity going on. Right, just 1 second while I put a presentation on screen again. So here's a PDF file we'd like to send out to you. So I know you've all enrolled, so I can just email this to you all after this session's over. So
Okay.
this is a bit about Teams now, where it's from and how it all works. So how to use Microsoft Teams. Your class is now online. The things you can do: learn from home, get your resources, attend through video, communicate with your teacher like you're doing with me, and chat with other students. Give homework and get feedback. And you need the following technology to do a connection. It also should include the word Mac there as well, I think. Yeah. And there's a little video here you could watch too in your own time to show you a bit more about just the Teams interface, and just it's a nice sort of like video. It shows you around Teams, and it's quite fun to watch. It's about 2 or 3 minutes. How you sign into Teams just shows you your format for entry. The screen looks like this when you sign in, and it mentions your student ID, which I've talked about already. That's how it looks. You can download Teams on any device. Now, where you get Teams from, there's a little link in there, okay? But I'll also show you where this link is available to you. It's again also available on the same page I showed you earlier with your email. All the links are there in one place. You also can just Google download Microsoft Teams. Easy way of doing it. Just Google download Microsoft Teams, and you'll get this. You'll come to a page that looks like this. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. Download Microsoft Teams. It's the easiest way of doing it, isn't it? And here it comes. Here's my link right there. First one. The page looks like this, and I can download to desktop or mobile, which also means that there's also a mobile app for it too. And there's no harm in having it in a couple of places like a PC and a mobile app, because sometimes people I've heard are doing classes, they're sitting in a lesson, and we don't even know this, but they're on a mobile, you know, and they're participating and they're talking and so on. They're just out and about, you know, on their walk or something. Some classes.
Use it on mobile, iPad, and Mac.
Mobile phone, tablet, and desktop device.
All three.
All three. Yeah, it's available on all of them now.
Yeah.
And mobile app's really nice because it's got the chat feature built in. You can see classes, you can see your calendar, you can chat to your teacher. It's being used quite a lot in some class environments, and we're encouraging you get both really, a mobile version of it.
Yeah.
Version, just to stay connected.
And
A
how do you do?
stupid question.
Yes, go ahead.
A laptop, is that desktop?
Yes, same thing.
You are.
Well, technically no, but you've got a good point there. Nowadays, those things are becoming much more interchangeable. Desktop is a fixed machine, a fixed workstation. Laptop is your portable PC, but they're both equally good at.
Okay. So, yeah, no worries.
No
I
problem.
download via the PC.
Yes, that'd be better for you.
Yeah.
And down below here, you've got this is how it looks on an iPhone. This is the icon for Teams when you downloaded it. It looks like this. When you find it, here's the app. There it is there. Okay. Now, further down, just shows you how the screens look when you sign in, another sort of a variant of it. Sometimes it looks like this. Sometimes it looks like that. That's a mobile sign-in. Now, how you join an online class, I showed you earlier on the icons on the left-hand side. Once you've downloaded Teams, you go to your calendar, find the meeting, and click on join. Yeah, or you get a notification on your college email, which looks like this. Looks a bit like that. This join Microsoft Teams meeting, this blue text in bold. You're clicking on that link, and that takes you into your class. Now, into a lesson, and something to think about with online classes. I've shown you the icons already about the interface. You've got the microphone there. You've got the chat feature there. You've got participants there. Yeah. Something to think about is when you enter into a meeting, it says arrive early. So I really recommend that always for classes that are online. Give yourself 5-10 minutes to get in and get sorted out. Make sure your camera is on if you have one, but it's not essential. Keep your mic on mute when you're not speaking. I don't mind because everyone's managing the sound very well today. I've had no problems. It's all going very well. But sometimes sounds are generated by the machine or background noise. Someone walks past. I might get yelled at in a minute, at home. So sometimes you might need to cover your mic. So just hit mute and unmute whenever you feel ready. Have a quiet environment. So, keep your environment quiet around you because it becomes very distracting to get noise when you're trying to focus on the screen. Have all your learning equipment with you so you're ready to learn. So if you've got resources and books, or if you're working with visual arts or music or classes where you need resources, have them nearby so you're ready to go. And we encourage you to use chat to ask your teacher any questions, or when your teacher asks you a question, do use chat if you're not using microphone. It all depends on the dynamics of your class. Assignments don't really apply in this case. This is more for qualification courses. I'm not sure. Is anyone here doing a qualification course? Maths and science,
Excel.
maybe. Excel. Is that Excel?
No, I'm doing exam.
Which course is that?
Functional level 2 maths.
Oh, so you're going to be
I'm
doing.
also doing entry science.
Okay. So you got an exam. Have you got any coursework to submit though?
Not, yeah, I have coursework, but it was all sent to me.
I see. So coursework might be. I mean, they might ask you to send it by email. They might ask you to submit it
Yeah.
into Teams, or they might say to you put it on something called Moodle, which I'll show in a minute. So you just be aware of those 3 different platforms we have for work, and your teacher will show you how it's done anyway. You'll get demonstrated that. Yeah. Okay. So that's the bit of basic stuff about Teams now. Let me take you back to the college website and bring that up again. So this page I showed you earlier, which I accessed from, can you see my screen, folks? Let's just bring it up. Can you see the college website coming up now?
Oh, yeah.
Should be there in about 5 or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Right, we're back here again. So come down back here again, and the free classes to get set up online are here. Go into that link. And down below, you've got the college email I talked about earlier. I mentioned Teams and where you can get Teams from. There's a link to Teams right there. Okay. If you get stuck and want help and you're having problems, there's also a support link here for IT support. So that's what you'd use if you've got problems. Okay. So any kind of technical issues that occur after this, you'd use that there, student support form. You click on it, takes you to a form like this. You can give feedback, get help, and say what the problem is.
Right, okay.
Yeah. As a RHACC learner, once you enroll, you have free access to Microsoft Office with your student email. So there's a link here which takes you into Office's package. And here you can see the Office education license, which is free for you. And you put your RHACC email address into that. Click on Get Started, and it will take you through a process where you can start using the Office applications and downloading them. Okay. These applications are also available to you via your email as well, but it's something called Office 365. It's not only a downloadable installation, it's also a web browser-based package too. And those of you who've got desktop or laptops running those can use that. Those of you who've got iPads can also download Office for iPads, or Android tablets have Office too, and so do mobile devices too. So this is really available for anyone to use Office. Okay. Hello.
Question.
Yeah.
With Office 365, the free subscription, is that just for the time that you're doing the course, or is it ongoing?
Good question. Yeah, good
I've
point.
got Office 365, but I pay a monthly subscription for
I
it.
see.
I'm just wondering.
See, how long is your course? How long is your course for?
I'm doing 2 courses, and they're both 10 weeks.
10 weeks each. So are they back to back or at the same time?
Same time.
So your account will start as soon as you've got an enrollment with us, immediately from that point onwards, and it finishes some weeks after the course ends. Some weeks. I was told 4 weeks by an IT member. Okay, folks. The last part I've got to show you is something called Moodle now. Yeah. Now Moodle is down here, and Moodle is a link you go on to. So same page again. I go click on Moodle. Now look at how this looks for me. This is my Moodle interface. And what you'll see is that when you go into Moodle, if your course is using this, so I think like functional skills, maths and science, any IT qualifications will all use this approach. So what you would do is you'd go to, you log in like this, and you'll see your course appearing here. It would appear under my courses. You'll get a course code. Like here's some of mine that I manage as staff. So here's my course code there. I'll see a course like that. If I click on that course, I'll then go inside a course and be able to see it. There's an example. Let me go into one of my courses. I'll see some stuff for this course that I'm managing, units, resources, links. There's tons of stuff here actually, assignments. So there's resources that a teacher will give you by being on a course, but also general stuff too. So I'll show you some of the stuff you've got available to all students. Go to Learner Services at the very top there and click on College Induction. That's available to all of you. Information about term dates, policies, procedures, charters, handbooks, your induction there. Something on online safety is there as well. And we also have a page on advice and guidance, which is about careers advice, volunteering, applying for university, referrals, some key contacts for students. We also have a learning resource centre page, which is through here. Software downloads, how your software licensing works. So you've got different discounts we can give you. There's lots of freebies in there, you know, it's worth looking at it. Freebies, where's it gone? We've got some jobs board we're putting up here, Learning Resource Centre. And we also have a section on wellbeing too. There's some stuff on mindfulness we have also available for everyone as well, just for stress management and so on. So there's some useful resources that we make available to everybody in Moodle. So again, your teacher may or may not use Moodle for the course, depends on what you're doing. We've got about 2,000 different courses at the college, so I can't second guess what their approach will be. But those are the kind of things that you can have access to. So I'm going to come back to class now and stop my share and just say hello to you all again. Here I am. And just to use this last bit of time to ask any questions and just really more informally and cover